samanta cakkavalesu atra gaccantu devatam saddhammang munirajassa sunantu sagga mokkadang Dhamma savana kalo ayan badanta Dhamma savana kalo ayan badanta Dhamma savana kalo ayan badanta Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa Ekayano ayang bhikkave maggo Santanang visuddhiya soka parindavanang samatikkamaya dukkha domanassanang attangamaya nyayassa adigamaya nibbānassa saccikiriyāya yadidaṃ cantāro satipatthānāti. Okay, Dhamma friends, all of you are warmly welcome. Today we are going to discuss very special discourse in Buddhism, the great discourse of mindfulness. Yeah, there are many discourses in the name of mindfulness in Buddhism, but among those discourses, there is the biggest discourse in Buddhism which describes about mindfulness. Here, today we are going to discuss about that topic. Actually, it has a lot of information. We have to discuss a lot. But here, I would like to explain all of them in short. However, you can get some sort of idea what mindfulness is, which Buddhism says. That I think last week we discussed about the important topics in Buddhism. Can you remember that what are the signs that when we practice this message, we can see some sort of signs in our life, results? Could you remember those qualities that we develop when we practice this message? As Dhamma reflection or Dhamma mirror? We discussed the Dhamma mirror.
Intelligence or discipline, virtue, or morality?
Yeah. Especially we have told that you have to write down in your mirror. There are 3 qualities that daily we can see in our lives. When we practice this message, there are visible results. We can see ourselves in our life. What qualities that increase in our life? Especially there are 3 qualities I have explained you several times as mirror, as the reflection of our life. Loving kindness. Loving kindness, honesty, and wisdom. Yes. These qualities, daily, we can see those qualities increase daily if we are in the real path of Buddhism. These are the visible results. Every day you have to check that qualities have increased in your life. If you have no attention about these qualities, actually we can see some sort of differences in your life. Daily you should have an ability to understand or success in your life when you are with the Dhamma. If you are with this message, every day these qualities should come to your mind. These qualities should come to your memory. That how much these qualities that I have. You should have good attention. Therefore I should say you that pay your attention always about these three qualities. That is very, very important. You have to learn by heart these three things every day. If you forget these things, please try to write down those three things in your mirror where every day you are going to. And if you can write down there, if you can write those things in your restroom, under that door or inside the door, when you sit down in the restroom, if always you can see it, that is very important. Then again and again it should come to your memory. That is very important. Loving kindness, honesty, wisdom. What is the meaning of wisdom? Wisdom means that every day you should have some sort of knowledge that about the karmic law, that when you do something as wicked mind, you will have the bad results. If you do something with pure mind, you will have the good results because of pure mind. Then always you can compare your activities which you do mentally, physically or verbally. If you have this attention or awareness, then you are ready to overcome evil, so unwholesome deeds in your life. And daily you try to develop your wholesome thought, such as generosity, morality or wisdom, always, or meditation. Always you are ready to develop those good qualities in your life in the name of wisdom. On the other hand, your attention, your knowledge should increase as impermanence. Impermanence. That is the second step of wisdom. First step is the understanding of karmic law. The second step is understanding of impermanence. If your time, you have knowledge that my time that I expend for understanding of impermanence, you can see some sort of progress about your attention that you think daily about impermanence. For example, when you look at something, then conditions are together, you have some experience through your eyes. But it arises at the moment, it ceases at the moment. Then again, if you hear something, it arises at the moment and ceases at the moment. If you smell something, you should have awareness that this smell arises at the moment and at the moment it disappears or ceases. Then again and again, if you can develop your time that you think about this impermanence, that is some sort of example that you can be happy that my wisdom increases. That is very, very important. Keep your attention please about these three things. That is very important. That is your IQ or GPA. Every day try to develop your IQ about these three things, and if you can increase these three qualities, it means your suffering goes down. Your suffering goes down and your happiness goes up. If you can increase or develop or cultivate every day these three qualities, it means your suffering is going down and also your happiness growing up. That's the result. That is the result. However, on the other hand, when you keep your attention, when you keep your attention about these three things, on the other hand, you should have another three qualities, three things that you do in your day-to-day life. You have to develop another three things in your life. Can you remember? The first thing is knowledge. Knowledge. Every day, you should try to develop your knowledge about what this message is. Then again and again, you should clean your path, your attention, your awareness, your knowledge about the path, where we go to and what we practice. Then, if you know only one way to go to LA, then if that road or path is traffic, you have no option. If you know several ways to reach LA, if one way is traffic, then you have another option. Likewise, then if you have a lot of knowledge about this message, you can practice in various ways because of your knowledge. Your knowledge helps you to go in various ways. That is very important. If you know only one way, if your knowledge is very few, you are poor. If your knowledge is very high, if you know various ways, if you know a lot of information about this message, you are rich in knowledge. You are not poor. Because you know various ways how you preach to this enlightenment or liberation or real happiness. Then first thing is you have to, that is why you come here, in the name of knowledge. Every day your knowledge should increase gradually. Then after you go back home, please try to read at least once this note. That is very important. Every day I change the note, not the same note. Every day I collect new things, and sometimes I read more than 6 or 7 books when I prepare this handout. Then I get many information from various books, and I always try to give you the very valuable thing as gems. Then please try to get the result of this effort. I wish you always. And first thing is try to develop, increase your knowledge little by little. What is the second thing? What is the second thing? According to knowledge, you have to reflect on it again and again. Only knowledge is not enough. We can see many people in this society, they have knowledge, but they don't practice it. If you don't practice it, even though you have a lot of knowledge, those knowledge is useless because of no practicing. That is why, according to your clear knowledge, you have to reflect on it again and again. Reflecting or investigation. Again and again, when you drive, when you walk, when you are at home, think about this knowledge again and again. What is the path to overcome suffering? What is the path for the purification? What is the path for the liberation? How I get rid of suffering? how I overcome my problems, how I reach to real happiness. Again and again you think it, then this knowledge come to permanent your mind. That is very important. Then second one is reflecting or investigating. Reflecting.
Same as practicing.
Not only practicing, before practicing you have to think it again and again. Practicing is the third one. This is a meditation. Yeah. Third one is meditation. This also can be included in practice, but here especially we think this is the practice way. Yeah. But however, if you can reflect it again and again, we can say it also some sort of practice, because you live with that knowledge. If you reflect it on it, it means you are with the Dhamma, you are with this message. That is very important. Then now you have to say it again without looking your book. Yeah.
This is a test.
Yeah, test. Oral test. What are the three qualities that we can see as result as mirror or reflection? Yeah, please say.
Wisdom.
Yeah, first one is?
First one is...
What we practice in meditation.
Knowledge.
For knowledge, there is...
No.
Wisdom is number 3.
What is the reason?
Wise is number 3. Number 2 is...
No, number 3 is wisdom.
Yes.
Number second one is honesty.
Honesty.
First is?
Not knowledge, but...
No, loving kindness.
Loving kindness.
Yeah, mirror.
Yes.
Loving kindness, honesty, wisdom. Yeah, those are the results. Those are the results. Those are the mirror. Those are the reflection. Dhamma reflection. The mirror of the Dhamma. Actually, when you practice this, you can see this result in your life. That gradually, when you meet a person, you have no anger. You have no anger. Because always you practice loving kindness. As soon as you look at a person, you have some sort of idea about that person as your son, your daughter, your brother, your sister, your mom. You can reflect on that person according to that close relationship because of your practice in loving kindness. What are these three things, three qualities? As reflection, as mirror, loving kindness, honesty, wisdom. Again, from end to begin. Wisdom, honesty, loving kindness. First one, second one, first one, final one, second one,
Honesty.
Final one, third one, wisdom, first one,
Living kindness.
Final one,
Wisdom.
first one, second one, honesty. Yeah. I'm sorry. How about other three things that we should develop in our day-to-day life?
The ones we talked about.
First one is knowledge. Very good.
The second one is not practice, but it's reflection.
Reflection or investigating.
And meditation.
Meditation. Yeah, very good. Very good. First one is knowledge, reflection, and meditation. Meditation also can be divided into two. Meditation can be divided into two. First one is concentration meditation. Okay.
Is it okay?
Okay, sure. First one is concentration meditation or tranquility meditation. The second one is insight meditation. Tranquility meditation means that we focus our mind particular thought, such as loving kindness, breathing meditation, concentrate in the Buddha's qualities, then we focus our mind particular thought. It means concentration meditation or tranquility meditation. With the concentrated mind, we focus our mind according to impermanence. It is the insight meditation. Both of them are very important. When we practice loving kind meditation, when we were meditating, then we practice first one. What is?
Concentration.
Concentration meditation. Concentration meditation. With the concentrated mind, when we concentrate our mind again and again, then our mind is very strong. It is like a very quiet water, quiet water well. Then with that concentrated mind, we focus on our mind according to impermanence, arising and ceasing, arising and ceasing. If always we see this arising and ceasing, we have no big attachment. We have no greed. It means we have no anger. It means we have no suffering when it separates. Now we think these things are mind. These things can be controlled by me. Now we think. But if we know, if we reflect again and again impermanence, we see very clearly arising and ceasing. Then gradually our greed or big attachment decreases gradually. If our greed decreases gradually, it means, on the other hand, our anger, hatred also decreases gradually. If we have no big attachment, when it changes, when it separates, when it becomes to separation, when it separates, we have no fear, we have no anger, we have no hatred because of that impermanent understanding. We have known very well what is the nature of this experience. That is the result of our life. Then here.
So if I may ask one quick question.
Sure.
The impermanence. When in practice. Meditation. Is it only for the physical world or also for the spiritual world?
Actually, now he described it. Impermanence. Now we are going to explain it as mindfulness. When we describe mindfulness, it is very important. Buddha says very clearly, always we describe the importance of mindfulness. Buddha says here very clearly, this is the only way, this is the one and only way for the purification of beings, for the overcoming of sorrow and lamentation, for the destruction of pain and grief, for the gain in knowledge, for the attaining or realization of Nibbana or enlightenment, which is practicing fourfold mindfulness. Mindfulness is the only and one way for the purification, for the getting rid of suffering, for the liberation, for the destruction of pain and grief, for the gain in knowledge. When we practice mindfulness, we practice it in four ways. First one is body. Body means the contemplation of body, physical body. Here we practice impermanence about material things. We practice mindfulness materially. For example, when we look at our body, it changes every moment. That is the nature. Not only our body, but other things also. Every moment it changes. When we practice mindfulness of body or contemplation of body, we practice this knowledge. This is the way. Another three things about mind. About mind. Another 3 things relates to mind. This one is related to our body or material things. Then when we practice again and again impermanence, we know physical thing changes and also mind also changes. Then we have to develop this knowledge not only about physical things or materials, but we have developed our knowledge impermanence about our mind or our mental formations.
So mental formation and mind are one and the same?
Yeah, it is actually it is different, but always both of them are together.
Okay.
We cannot divide.
Okay.
For example, when we get an example like coffee or tea, coffee and water always mixed. Yeah, mind and mental formations are like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Then here there are another 3 things according to mindfulness. We can explain another 3 things: feelings and contemplation of feeling and contemplation of mind, contemplation of mental formation. Then again and again you practice impermanence according to body. You know, as soon as you look at things, you know these things are changing always. Then you don't suffer when it changes, because already you know it. Already you have gained the knowledge about impermanence. When those things change, you have no fear, you have no sorrow, you have no lamentation because of your knowledge. We mostly see that people cry because of this pre-knowledge. Now you are ready to face this problem because of your knowledge. You are so lucky. You don't cry when those things change, because already you know the situation. Yeah. For example, when our body is growing up, when our body is going to old age, when our body is going to sickness, actually you know always our body is supposed to death, our body is supposed to illness, our body is supposed to old age. That is the nature of this body. If we can understand this reality, we have no fear, we have no sorrow when the body becomes this situation. We are ready to face this problem. We are ready to face this challenge with the concentrated mind, with understanding. We already ready to face this problem. And it doesn't mean that we are suffering. We trust in not only our physical body, we trust in our mind. That is the difference. Now people in the society, they mostly trust in their physical things, material things, physical body. When their body is changed, they suffer, they worry, they cry, they are afraid of this situation. But if you have this knowledge, you don't suffer, because you trust more in your mind than your body. That is the difference. You use your body, you respect your body, you clean your body, but you trust more in your mind than your body. You protect your mind than you protect your body. You help your body, but you more help your mind. That is the difference. That is why you don't suffer when your physical body change, because your higher trust in your mind. That is the thing that we should do. Okay, here, feeling. Feeling also always change. For example, at the very beginning, when you sat here, you were so comfortable. Now, little by little, you are going to middle or equanimity. And finally, it is suffering for you. But at the very beginning, you were so comfortable as soon as you sat down. But same posture, gradually it changes. End of this posture, you suffer. You are suffering. That is the nature of the feeling. When you look at a person, as soon as you look at a person who is very attractive, who is very beautiful, who is very pretty, as soon as you look at that person, you are so happy. But when you associate that person closely, your desire gradually reduces. And finally, when that person has a mistake, you worry, you are angry. But the same person, same thing, but feelings gradually changes. If you can understand this situation, as soon as you look at a person, you are not so happy. You are happy, but you are not so happy. You are middle. Yeah. Your mind is middle. Then if your mind is middle in the first, then later when that person change, you are also same. Your mind doesn't change because of your understanding. Although that person, although you see some mistakes of that person, you don't worry. You know very well that the impermanence of feeling. Feelings are impermanent. They are not certain. Feelings, we get the feelings through our eyes, through our ear, through our nose, through our tongue, through our body, through our mind. Every experience we get through our senses. There are 6 senses: eye, ear, nose, tongue, body and mind. If we get some sort of experience, except those 6 senses, we have no experience. If we get some sort of experience, we get those old experience only through these 6 organs, 6 senses. That is the nature of our old experience that we get in our life. That
nature of our own experience?
Nature of our old experience.
All experience.
Yeah. We get old experience only through these 6 senses. Except these 6 senses, we have no other experience. If we get some sort of experience in our life, looking something, hearing something, tasting something, feeling something, we get all experience through these 6 senses. Without these 6 senses, we have no experience about the world. That is the nature of our life. If we have full attention about this situation, always we use a watcher. We use 6 watchers. You know watchers? Watch. Oh, no. Watcher. Watcher means who protect the place near the gate. Watcher. Watcher.
W-A-T-C-H.
Yeah, sure. Watcher.
We only use 6 watchers.
Yeah.
Okay.
We should use 6 watchers near our senses. It means we use the mindfulness. Yeah. If we have mindfulness, it's same to virtue.
So 6 watchers.
Yeah, 6 of
whole, complete, one, watching everything.
Yeah, always we should awareness, attention, mindfulness. If we have mindfulness, it means nobody can disturb our peace. Nobody can hate us if we have mindfulness. If we lost mindfulness, it means we lost our happiness. If we lost our mindfulness, it means enemies can come to inside in our life. That is why Buddha says, always try to develop mindfulness. Mindfulness is the only and one way for the purification, for the getting rid of suffering, for the knowledge, for the gaining knowledge, for the liberation, for the enlightenment. Mindfulness is the only and one way. Yeah. That is why in last weeks we said that mindfulness as our best friend. If you lost your best friend, it means you lost your success, your happiness. If you lost your best friend, which is mindfulness, it means the enemies can come your inside and they can disturb your peace of your mind. Yeah, always try to develop this mindfulness. Mindfulness we practice in the first level according to our physical body. When we breathe in and out, we do it consciously, mindfully. That is the first thing you can read this article. And mindfulness is divided into 4. First one is contemplation of body. Second one is contemplation of sensation of feeling. Third one is contemplation of mind. Fourth one is contemplation of mental objects or mental formation, you can say. And again I have explained what is the contemplation of body is. Contemplation of body is divided, or it can be divided into 6 parts, 6 areas. The first one is when we breathe in and out, we do it consciously. We focus our mind near the nose. Then we know there is some breathing, but there is no soul. There is no certain mind. Then now we think there is some sort of certain spirit in our inside. But when we practice always again and again these teachings, it causes to us to overcome our misunderstanding of certain soul. Certain soul. That is, the people think that there is something inside which cannot be destroyed and which we can control, and mostly we think that there is a special thing in our inside which is certain, which cannot be destroyed. That is, according to Buddhism, that is a misunderstanding. Yeah. When we develop mindfulness, we see the impermanence. All things are impermanence. Yeah. Gradually we hit our deep misunderstanding. We beat our deep misunderstanding, that we have some sort of misunderstanding and there is something in our inside as certain. All things are impermanent, not only our physical body but also our mental thoughts too. All of them are impermanent. When we practice mindfulness, focusing our mind in this knowledge, we develop the knowledge of impermanence. That is the final goal, where we focus our mind. In one side, we focus our mind in a particular object. It is like a catch something in our hand. Next one is the wisdom. On the other hand, with other hand, we cut it. If we hold something like a tree or something, we catch something in our one hand. left hand. It is like mindfulness or concentration. With other hand, we cut it. It is like wisdom. It means with understanding, we think, we concentrate it as impermanence. We practice impermanence. Both of them are very important. If you hold something in one hand, it is like mindfulness. If we cut with other hand, it is like reflecting on impermanence. Mindfulness, wisdom. Mindfulness means focus our mind. Wisdom means understanding of reflecting impermanence.
You created it yourself. You cut it yourself.
Yeah, we
You didn't
cut
want-
ourselves. We cut not only the physical thing, we cut our negative ideas that we think as certain. We think there is something as certain which cannot be destroyed, that we can control. We cut our misunderstanding.
Okay.
So you're saying with your left hand is mindfulness,
Yeah,
right hand is wisdom.
wisdom. Wisdom means,
Cut because there's nothing to cut.
yeah. It means, I mean that, for example, there are some trees like this one. And we catch something in our hand.
Okay.
It is like practicing mindfulness.
Okay.
On the other hand, we have knowledge. According to knowledge, we know that everything arises and ceases.
Okay.
The knowledge is arising and ceasing. It means impermanence.
Okay.
With that knowledge, we cut this misconcept.
Okay. Got it.
That is the insight meditation. We discuss the both areas in meditation. One thing is tranquility meditation, other thing is insight meditation. In tranquility meditation, we develop our mindfulness, like catching, like holding something. We hold our mind. We don't give a chance to go here and there to our mind.
You find this thing in front
Yeah,
of you.
here, using breathing meditation, using loving kind meditation.
Yes.
With practice in meditation, there are 40 techniques.
Yes.
There are 40 techniques
For me.
for mindfulness or concentration. Using or practicing these 14 meditations, not only all 40, as our character, as our interest, we can choose some sort of meditation techniques. Using those techniques, we try to hold our mind. We don't give a chance to go to our mind here and there. We control it. First we control our mind. It means concentration. With concentrated mind, like holding, we reflect this thing as impermanent. We reflect again and again impermanence. Then if we look at something, it means it is impermanence. It arises at the moment with the conditions are together. When conditions go away, the experience ceases. If we look at something, if we hear something, if we smell something, if we taste something, all of those experiences are like that. Then again and again, if we can develop time that we practice this knowledge, it means that our success of this path. Then always try to develop these things. First thing is the contemplation of our body. It can be divided into 6 ways according to this discourse. The first thing is we focus our mind according to breathing. And second one is we focus our postures. We have 4 postures: sitting, standing, walking, lying down. We think, we concentrate. When we do something, some posture, only action, not only particular person, certain person. We have some sort of activities. We have some sort of action in our life. But this is not a sole or some certain thing. Only action. Because of mind, we have some sort of activities in our life. But because of ignorance, because of delusion, we think that there is a certain person here. Because of our ignorance. But if our mind goes away as death, what happens to our body?
It goes away.
Our body is dead. Yeah, we don't say your name. Then we say dead body. Because of no mind. We say that this is a person because of mind. Mind and body are together. We say, you are Mr. blah blah blah, you are Mrs. like we say. We explain there is a person because of mind, but this is only process with mind and body. When mind and body together, we say there is a person, but there is not certain person, only some sort of process. When mind and body together. When we have this understanding, then we have nothing to hate or desire. We have nothing to hate. We have nothing to desire. Who do we hate? Who do we desire? If we have this understanding. But we fulfill our duties, responsibilities in the name of our wives, in the name of our husbands, in the name of our children. We do our responsibilities. We should do it. As conventional truth, we do it. We practice it. We do our responsibilities and duties. But we have this higher understanding. While we are fulfilling our duties in our day-to-day life, we are living in the higher level understanding. Others have big attachment because of ignorance, but while we are doing our responsibilities, we decrease our big attachment. We have nothing for big attachment because of our understanding. If as soon as I look at you, I know very well you are Mr. I know you are Mr. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Well,
yeah. Then other thing, as soon as I look at you, I know this is the process of mind and body. If mind is not here, there is no person here. Only dead body. Then if we have this knowledge, we can decrease our big attachment gradually. If we can decrease our big attachment little by little, it means we have no afraid, we have no anger, we have no hatred. Then we have no suffering. But as gratitude persons, we do our responsibilities. If a person has no this understanding, that person has only attachment. When that person changes, they go away. They go away. Now there is somebody who loves you a lot, but when your appearance changes, when fire destroyed your appearance, then that person goes away. But if that person has this real understanding, he is very kind. He never forget you. He love you a lot more than what she did before. That is the difference. But somebody may think that if somebody has this knowledge, he or she doesn't her duties. But it is false. It is not true. If somebody has this knowledge, that person does his or her duty better than he did first.
Mm-hmm.
That is the difference.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. On the other hand, sorry, please ask your next.
Oh, I was just, and thank you.
Yeah.
I was just going to ask, okay, so just to test my understanding, mind and body together equals a person.
Mm-hmm.
When the mind goes away, the body dies.
Mm-hmm.
They're no longer a person.
Mm-hmm.
So where does the mind go?
Yeah. We don't say that mind goes here and there. But according to our karmic law, always our mind is doing his karmic energy.
Okay.
Always mind is collecting his energy. Every moment mind arises and ceases, living in our body.
Okay.
But we say death as our karmic energy, as our process of mind. As soon as body goes down, it adjusts another place, another body, according to the process of mind.
Okay.
According to the energy of mind.
So mind
If your mind is very high with the pure, then you will have better physical body.
Oh, I see.
If your mind is very lower, then you will have weak body.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
that is the difference.
Okay.
As soon as your mind goes away, then it adjusts. It is born in another place
Okay.
as reborn. But it doesn't mean that mind goes here and there. Buddhism doesn't say that mind goes. If mind goes another place, it has time to go. But if you will reborn in a very far place, you have no time. It is timeless.
Okay.
As soon as your mind goes away, it can be reborn in another place. No time. As soon as
Okay.
you lost your body, according to your energy, according to your mental process. If your mind is very rich in merit, if you have helped others a lot, if your mind is very pure, if always you are ready to help us, if you wish others success always, it means you will have a successful life, successful body, which is very comfortable. Because always you wish others success. If always you are jealous to others, if always you disturb others, if always you wish others sickness or troubles, it means you will have trouble, very uncomfortable body, lower level. Then according to your mental process, your mind will reborn in a weak place, weak body. That is the process. The interesting thing is, even though you are a human being, if you can develop your good qualities as divine persons, then you can live mentally as a God, using human body.
Wow.
That is the difference.
Okay.
That is the interesting thing. Even though your body is sick, even though your body is with troubles, even though your body with old age, if your mind is very rich in merit as the God, according to your mental process, according to your consciousness, you can live as a God even though you use a human body. That is the interesting thing. Yeah, very interesting thing. You don't worry about your body because always you trust in your mind. Your mind is rich in merits. Your mind is very high position level. That is why you don't care about your physical body. Yeah, but you respect, you clean, or you do your responsibilities in your body. But always you trust in your mind and mental process and mental condition. That is why always you try to keep your mind in with very present situation. Then Buddhism guides us how to develop our mind in the maximum level. There are some doctrines in Buddhism how we practice as God or divine persons practice in their heaven realm. Then we can catch their qualities here. We can bring their qualities here in our human life. Then we can live as God, as divine persons, guardian deities and angels. Like we can use our mind. Use in our mind we can live as heaven persons. Then our human realm is like heaven realm. That is the difference. Then our body has some sort of mistake. If our mind is sick, our body is sick, it doesn't matter, we don't care it. Because always we fully trust in our mind, mental process. That's the difference. On the other hand, when we consider actually in the first part, contemplation of body, especially it focuses to our physical body. First, breathing. Secondly, 4 postures. When we go in here and there, when we sit in, when we stand in, when we lie down, we think our process of body. When we focus our body, we know there is a process, there is an action, but this action not a particular person. Posture or body is not only one thing in our life. This is only one of them. We have another thing, that is mind. Then we don't say, when we look at a physical body, we don't say, according to ultimate truth, we don't say this is the person. We know very well, this body is not a particular person. If this is a particular person, if you die, I should associate you. But I can't do it. As soon as mind go away, then further I don't say that you are Mr. I say you are dead body. Yeah. Now I keep my hand in your body very softly. But when you die, the persons who work in the another place, they throw away your body. They don't respect your body because of no mind. That is the nature of our life. Step by step, when we contemplate, when we develop our contemplation of body, we are going to be ready to understand about this body. Next one is the awareness of sampajanya. If you want, go now, you can leave.
15 minutes.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Then next one is the sampajanya or mindfulness of clear awareness. That is a very important thing. It means from waking up in the morning to go to bed. If we do some activities in our daily routines, we do all things. When we eat something, when we go somewhere, when we work, when we walk, all things we do consciously with mindfulness. Then we know this is some action. There is some action. But only action. There is no certain person. We know this some sort of actions. But always when we do these activities, we know there is no certain person here. Only some sort of process. And again, then we reflect on our mind according to our body. There are many things in our body. Our hair, our teeth, our skin. There are 33. There are 33 parts in our body. You know, 33 parts. in our body like blood, hair, and teeth, our nail, 33 parts. We focus about these 33. Then when we reflect on these parts in our body, we know there are only 33, but no certain person. When these are together, we say that there is a person. For example, when there are some doors, some wheels, some machines are together, we say that there is a vehicle or some car or van, we say. But when those are separated, nothing is there. There is nothing there. If we separate these things from our body, here our hair, here our nails, here our skin, here our blood, then if we separate those things in our life, how about our life? Nothing. Then when we reflect in various ways, we reflect on our body, physical body, then when we practice again and again about this body, it means we destroy our misconcept that if we think that already there is a certain person here, then we fight with this misconception. Using these all teachings, we fight with this misconcept. That is the purpose of practicing this knowledge. We are fighting with our misattitude, not only physical person. Always we fight in our misunderstanding. Our game is inside game, not outside game. Buddha says we have no enemy outside. The enemy is in our inside. We have to fight with this misconcept. We have to fight with this ignorance. Using these all doctrines, we fight with this misunderstanding. That is the goal of using this knowledge. Can you understand what I say?
Yes.
Then again, the fifth one is the 4 elements. When we separate our body, we can see only 4 fundamental elements. They are earth, water, fire, air. We have only these 4 fundamental elements in our life, in our physical body. We can separate it. When we breathe in and out, it is air. Our blood, all of them are according to water elements. If our body has some sort of heat, it means fire. If we have some material things like earth, those are the earth element. We have only these 4 elements in our physical body. Again and again we reflect on this knowledge. Then if we reflect on this knowledge again and again, it means we destroy our misconcept that if we think there is a special person here, there is a certain person here, we destroy this misunderstanding. On the other hand, there is a very interesting thing. That 6th one is the very important. After we die, our body will become the 9 steps. 9 steps. From death to go to the skeleton. You know skeleton?
Yeah.
Skeleton, skeleton. From death to skeleton, there are 9 steps. Gradually it changes. We memorize, we focus the future situation. But you think there is a very special thing. We reflect all of them in the present moment. Living in the present moment, always Buddhism focus to live in the present moment. Living in the present moment, we focus in the future, but we don't go to future. Living in the present moment, we focus our mind into the future. That is the interesting thing.
Okay, so living in the present moment, we focus our mind into the future, but we don't go there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Living in the present moment, we do it consciously. We do all things with mindfulness.
But not physically.
But other people, when they think in future, they will cry that I will die. But because of mindfulness, because of fully consciousness, we don't cry, we don't worry, we are not sad. That is the difference as intelligent person. Living in the present moment, we focus our mind in the future, into the future. What happens to our body after death? Then after death, gradually it will change. And finally it goes to skeleton. And very finally it goes to as sand. You know sand? Yeah, that is the nature of our body. That is the definite thing, it will happen. Nobody can change it. If we have this knowledge, what happens to us? Yeah, we don't worry. Gradually our big attachment reduces. Gradually our anger reduces. If we have this knowledge, we don't hate others. We don't have big attachment. We fulfill our duties in the name of our children, in the name of our wives or husbands. We fulfill our duties. While we are fulfilling our duties, we reduce our big attachment. If we have no big attachment, when those people change, we don't worry, we don't cry because of our understanding. We have already understood the situation, what happens to them. Because of our understanding, we don't cry, but we never forget our duties and responsibilities. We do them very well before we did. Yeah, that is the difference. Yeah, never we neglect our duties after this knowledge. We fulfill our duties after this knowledge better than we did before. That is the different thing. And Buddha says very clearly one day, as soon as you look at a very pretty girl or boy, suddenly you focus your mind, that person in the future, gradually he is going to old age, and he go to the bed, and he go to the dead, and finally that body goes to the earth, and finally it goes to the skeleton. Suddenly, if you have that attention, you have no big attachment. You have no desire. On the other hand, there is another interesting thing, that if you look at a very old person, you can rewind that person. Then in the young age, that person is very beautiful. And not only young age, but you can focus in the womb. In the womb, that person is like a very small fish or some ant. Then you focus in the past, you focus in the future, you focus on the present. Everywhere that you are clever, you can focus. You are ready to focus anywhere. Suddenly, because of your attention, because of your mindfulness, because of your intelligence, because of your wisdom. Buddha always advises us to develop this understanding. Now people, for example, when there are 100 people here, always you focus the beautiful person. If there is a very old person, you don't look at there. If there is a very pretty girl, suddenly your eye goes there. But if you have this knowledge, where your mind goes. Your mind goes the old persons, and you look at that person's young age suddenly. How beautiful that lady in the young age. You can focus it. That is the interesting thing.
You can get to a level where you can see it.
Yeah, we can see it in mentally. We can rewind it. That is the interesting thing, because of our understanding, because of your mindfulness. If you are with ignorance, you have no this chance. You always, your eyes go to the pretty person. But if you have this understanding, your kindness, your compassion increases a lot. When you look at a very old age person, your compassion is very full here. You are ready to help that person, and also you are ready to go to the past with this understanding. That is the interesting. That is why Buddha says, if you can fully control your mind, then if you see something which is very beautiful, you can see as it is beautiful. If you look at something which is beautiful, if you are clever, you can reflect on it as not beautiful. If you are clever to focus that person, you can focus that beautiful thing without beautiful or unbeautiful as middle, equanimity, you can focus there. When you look at some unpleasant thing, if you are clever, you can focus that thing as present thing. If you are clever, you can reject both ways, and you can keep your mind middle, equanimity. That's the interesting thing. Then we mostly think that the suffering comes outside, but suffering or happiness comes inside. Then if we can change our attitude, we have no problem with outside. All problems arises inside. If we can change our attitude, we have no problem. Okay, now I think you have time. Okay, I am very happy that you are coming here.
Thank you.
I wish you all the best.
Thank
Okay, we will meet next week.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you so much for your time.
Okay.
I'm so happy to talk to you.
Thank you.
Okay, further we can discuss something. Second step is the contemplation of feeling or sensation. Then we have feelings. If we have awareness, we know this is impermanent. The feelings, for example, as I mentioned you, for example, that when we sat here first time, we were so comfortable. But little by little, it went to change. And it changed little by little. Finally, we are uncomfortable, although we are in the same posture. That is the nature of the impermanence of feeling. Yeah. If we can understand that feeling, we have no big attachment, we are so comfortable.
That's kind of like when we sit to meditate, when you first sit down, you're comfortable.
Yeah.
You keep the same posture and then you're uncomfortable. So that's the nature of impermanence.
Yeah.
Because I understand.
Yeah.
Arises and ceases.
Yeah, actually, if you can reflect on that posture, that situation, you are meditating meditating. Yeah. Actually, if we are intelligent, if we have real knowledge about this understanding, about this life, we can meditate every moment. Every our experience is like a meditation technique. We can use as meditation techniques our old experience in our life, from waking in the morning to going to bed at night. That is the interesting thing. We have only thing, that mindfulness. If we have mindfulness, we do all things with meditation.
That makes sense. That makes sense. I think maybe in another life I already was a Buddhist focused or something.
Mhm.
Because
Mhm.
coming here, everything that you and Bhante Chandananda teach us, it makes sense.
Yeah.
I may not be able to speak it
Yeah,
completely,
yeah,
but
yeah.
it makes absolute
Yeah, actually, gradually our attention, our attitude changes
Okay.
little by little.
Okay.
Yeah, when we get the knowledge, actually we get knowledge as the result of our previous merits. We should be gratitude for our future lives.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have done a lot of merits. That is why we are here. Listening of this message is very, very rare. Yeah, it is the result of a great merit. Always we should think it and we should be happy because of our previous wholesome deeds. And also with that happiness, on the other hand, we should develop our energy, our courage for practice these teachings in this life. Actually, we should spend our time only for listening this message. When we practice this message, it doesn't need to spend time.
Because it's already in you.
Yeah, our living life is like practicing this message, like breathing. When we breathe, we don't want time for breathing. While we are living, we breathe. Yeah, practicing this message is like breathing.
Bhante, so I'm going back to mind. Mind is not physical. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, mind is not physical. Not only mind, but I also not physical.
Okay, because you see that is
Yeah.
not physical.
Yeah.
You see the physical thing, but your eye is actually not.
Actually, on the other hand, we should have this physical thing to see something, but the process, the process of sight, the process of seeing is not physical.
Okay.
Yeah, we should have physical eye,
Yes.
but although we have physical eye, if we have no mental process, for example, when dead person, even though he or she has eye, they can see. They can see because of no mind, because of mental formation. When mental formation together with physical eye, we can see something. But according to Buddhism, this eye, this real eye, is materialist.
Okay, let me just test that. This physical eye is material, but to truly see is, I had it right here. Oh, wait a minute.
Using this material eye, we see something.
Yes.
But without this material eye, at sometimes we can see something.
Inside.
For example, when you sleep, you see some dreams.
Right. But that's not from this physical eye.
When some person is coming wearing a very colorful shirt or wearing some clothes, you can remember. Your mom or your departed relative came and said something to me. How did you see that color or something? How did you listen in that thing? Through your eye?
No.
Through your eyes? No. Mind has some sort of energy, strength for this situation. But here, now, in this life, now we have to use our physical eye. But even though we have no eye, at some levels, some realms, we can get some experience through our mind. Mind is very stronger than our physical organs. That is why we can see when our physical eyes, nose, things are sleeping, then we can get some idea, some experience through our mind. Although our other physical senses are sleeping at night, especially in the dreams, we get some experience through our mind.
So I have a question.
Yes.
When my sister-in-law passed away, before she passed away, the morning before, she had a disease that she was not able to move physically.
Mm-hmm.
She was like trapped in her body.
Mm-hmm.
So the morning before she passed, I couldn't sleep all night, and it was like I saw her doing this and smiling and saying, "See, I'm healed. I'm okay." So how did that happen? And then after she passed, I was with my patient that just recently passed away. And it was like I saw my sister-in-law again smiling, and she was telling me after death. But the other one is before
same
death.
Same form.
Yes. And after death, she was smiling, and she told me to tell my patient, "It's great up here." And then I told my patient that, and my patient spelled, "I hear her." So how does that happen?
Yeah, according to Buddhism, it happens in several ways, not only particular one.
Okay.
For example, sometimes when you think that person again and again, automatically your mind changes according to that person. It is a one way. Another way, when you are in dream, then that person can contact with you in mentally. Yeah, on the other hand. Mind can be together.
Okay.
For example, when you sleep, your relative departed, some people, your mother or your father, they may come to meet you in the dream, and they ask you, "Please transfer medicine to me, and please help me." They may ask you. That is the only another way. On the other hand, there are some persons, while they are living, when their physical body is very weak, then at some times their mind goes away from the body, and they contact with another person. But again, if their body is still working, then the mind comes again to the body. And that is the another thing. For example, there are many stories. That is the nature of a mind. But interesting thing is, sometimes when they come back to the body, they can't enter the body. They lost their body.
Oh.
Yeah. When they have that situation, they go to the another life.
Oh.
Then we say that person is dead.
Wow.
You know, there is a thing in my country, when some person was facing for operation in the hospital, while the doctors were operating that person's mind went away, and that there is another Buddhist temple near the hospital. That person has gone to the temple in the air, and he has shown the people who were worshipping there. And he came back to the body. While he was coming, he saw a shoes in the roof of the hospital.
Okay.
He has shown a shoes in the roof of the hospital building. Then he came back to the body. Then operation is finished. Now that person come again. And after that, after operation, that person has said that I went to that temple. I saw that people who were worshipping. Not only that, but when I was coming back, I saw a shoes in the roof. If it is false, if you don't believe it, please go and look at that there. Shoes is there.
Wow. That is amazing.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to be in this class because from the time I was a little girl, I don't know if to say I had these abilities. I don't know if that's the right way to describe it. I've always lived my life inside of me. Does that make sense?
Yeah, life means our mind.
Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to put that into words until I came here.
Yeah.
I've always lived inside of myself, and I've always been able to see things before they happen. And a friend of mine, I dreamed about him all night. I dreamed that he had a motorcycle accident. And I didn't know the extent of his injury, but it was different versions. I dreamed that I witnessed him from afar on his motorcycle in an accident. I dreamed that I accidentally backed over him on his motorcycle, all these things. And around 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning, my phone rang. And when I said hello, nobody said anything. But there was this certain sound in the phone line that I knew it was him. But he didn't call me. But that morning he had a motorcycle accident. I saw it before it happened. And
is he died?
No, thank goodness. He's an amputee. Another time, I hadn't talked to him, but I knew something was wrong. And every time that happened, I would say, "What's wrong? What happened?" And he would tell me nothing. And I would say, "Are you okay?" And he would say, "I'm fine." And it was the tone of his voice that let me know he wasn't fine. So the next time he was in a car accident. And another time, the same person, I was dreaming that he and his little daughter were in a car accident, that they went off a cliff, and that she said, I'm cold, and Tyrus, I'm cold. So I finally talked to him, and I said, "What happened?" And he said, "Nothing." I said, "So you can tell me now, or you can tell me later." But I had this dream. So what happened? Are you okay? I'm fine. Finally, he said, "Well, what do you think happened?" I said, "I don't know. I don't know if this happened, if you went off a cliff." And he said, "I got to go." And he hung up the phone. And I called him back, and I said, "Well, what's the matter?" He said, "Okay, I went off a cliff." And I said, "No, you didn't." "Yes, I did." And I said, "Okay, well, what happened?" And he started to talk, and I said, "Wait, let me tell you what happened. You and Teeny were in the car. You were coming through the crest, and I don't know what happened, but you went over the cliff. And she told you, 'Tyrus, I'm cold, Tyrus.'" He hung up on me again. I called him back, and he said, I said, "Tell me what happened." He told me that's exactly what happened. He hit black ice, and they went off the cliff. And she told him she was cold. I said, "How did I know that?" So that's the kind of things that I've experienced since I'm a little girl. I used to be afraid of it because I thought people would think I was crazy if I told them. And there's been plenty of other experiences. My son, when he was a little boy, this is the last one. I don't want to interrupt the class anymore, but I used to work at night, and I was sweeping the floor in a bakery, and I heard my son's voice say, "Mommy!" And I looked around. I'm like, okay, I'm not sleepwalking. I looked at the clock. It was 9:30 in the morning. And I just said, well, I'll call the school and check on him when I get home, because I was getting off in an hour at 10:30. I got off from work. I came home. I checked voicemail, and there was a voicemail saying, "Mrs. Moore, this is the school nurse at your son's school. It's 9:30 a.m. He's had an accident. Come to the school." I get to the school, and he's got skin. And I said, "Keenan, what happened?" He said, "I fell down." And I said, "What did you do when you fell down?" And he said, "I was crying." And I said, "Yeah, and what did you do?" He said, "I was calling you." And I said, "Well, what did you say?" And he said, "I said, 'Mommy.'" And I said, I know, I heard you.
Yeah, surely it could be happen. I have also experienced. For example, when my uncle died, then actually his sons were very young age. Then he was in a hospital far away, more than 50 miles. Then when he died, then that small children, their sons, have seen their father, my uncle. And my son, I came. Then he go outside, but nobody's there. Then after a few minutes, they got a message, my uncle died.
Yeah,
There are many. Actually, our mind has several energies, several kind of strengths. Like for example, when now we are here, mind is with our body, and living here, using our physical body, we can focus our mind which is very far.
Yes.
That is one of the energy of our mind. On the other hand, using this body, if we develop our mind in the maximum level, Buddha also has used in that way, that while he was using this body, he can keep his mind another place too.
Yeah.
For example, he has gone to heaven to preach Dhamma, his departed mother. For example, when the Lord Buddha was born in the world, a child, after 7 days his mother died. He was reborn in the realm, heaven realm. And after he enlightened, he went to the heaven to preach his mother. And while he was preaching to his mother, he kept his body there as a shadow. And keeping his shadow body there, he came to the world, human world, and he begging food here. Yeah. That is one of another energy of mind. On the other hand, there is another story that when we develop our mind in the maximum level, there was a monk in the Buddha's period who became the enlightenment very hardly. And he had his brother, but his elder brother also same monk, but his brother was not happy about his younger brother because he was very weak to practice this message. He blamed his younger brother. You go to a house and you go back to house, you can't become a monk. But later he was so sad, and Buddha advised that younger brother by the monk, and later he could enlightenment. He could attain enlightenment. And at that day, when he attained enlightenment, then that elder brother didn't know it, but Buddha knew it. And in the morning, all of monks went to almsgiving, offering dana. All of monks with Buddha went to the house. The only monk who was very weak, younger brother, who was a monk, but now he is enlightenment. And Buddha knew that monk is meditating at the temple. Then Buddha sent a messenger to bring that person to the dana, to alms. When that person come to the temple, that monk created another 500 same persons. 500 same figure of persons. Then that messenger come to the temple, he saw 500 same monks. All monks' appearance are same. Then he went back to the Buddha and asked, Reverend Sir, there is not only one person, there are 500 people, 500 monks. Whom do I call? Then Buddha said that person, when you go to the temple, you ask, please you ask, who is Reverend Chund, Reverend Chullapantaka. His name is Chullapantaka. First you ask, who is Reverend Chullapantaka? One person may say that I am Chullapantaka. As soon as one person says that I am Chullapantaka, you hold that person's hand. And then you bring that person here. Then that person did same thing. As soon as he hold that person, all same figures disappeared. Yeah. Actually, our mind has a lot of energies. It acts in various ways. When we develop our mind, we can use in several areas. On the other hand, when our mind is very weak, for example, when we face some difficulties physically, when our physical body is very weak, then it works in another way. Then we can control it. But the interesting thing is, consciously, if we can develop our mind, we can use it in several various ways successfully. That is the interesting thing. But when our body is going to weak, actually it is so sad because we can't control it. But it also can do something, some special thing as you mentioned. Yeah, it is the thing. But it is not a particular thing. It acts, it works in various ways. We can't say this is only one particular way. Mind is so interesting. Yeah, Buddha says, the only thing that I have seen in the world, which is the most interesting thing, is the mind. Yes, okay, now. Okay, no problem. I think it is also very useful for our discussion. However, we were discussing about the feelings, that when we know the nature of the feelings, we have no attachment when feelings are happy, feelings are interesting, feelings are soft, because we know that after a few minutes it changes. As soon as we sat down, if we were comfortable, if we know real idea, we were so happy at the very beginning, but later we sad. But if we have this right understanding, we are not big attachment when we were so comfortable, and also we don't worry when we are uncomfortable. That is the nature of the understanding of feelings. On the other hand, contemplation of mind also, as soon as some thought come to our mind, we know very well that thought is processing in my mind at the moment.
It's just a thought.
Yeah, because of mindfulness. Yes. And if we know that now my mind is not good, now my mind is polluted, as soon as I know it, I am ready to overcome those negative ideas in my mind. If my mind is with pleasant, I try to keep it further. That is the nature of the mind. Then, and also we think, we reflect on mindfulness and also impermanence again and again. This mind, nature of this mind is impermanent. Again and again it changes. That is the nature of our mind. Then we reduce our misunderstanding of mind as certain thing. That is the another advantage of practicing contemplation of mind. We don't get this mind as certain. We know, although the mind goes here and there, although mind goes to next birth, but it is not a certain thing. It also changes. It also changes. That is the nature of the mind. We don't get even mind as certain thing. Now the people think that the same mind goes to next birth.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask you.
But I believe that the mind has some sort of connection with next birth, but it always changing. It goes changing.
Yes.
That is the nature.
Okay.
Every moment with the conditions, it arises and disappears, arises, ceases, going.
Okay.
That is the nature. But many people who are in the world, although they believe the karmic force, they believe that certain mind goes here and there. But Buddhism doesn't say it.
Okay.
Mind has some sort of connection with next birth, but it has connection with next birth as a impermanent thing. That's the difference. On the other hand, contemplation of mind objects is also a very big topic. When our mind is polluted with negative thoughts such as unwholesome thoughts, we know it very well. And also on the other hand, when our mind has wholesome thoughts such as five mental faculties, we have described about something, confidence, energy, mindfulness, wisdom. We have some sort of wholesome thoughts in our mind. We know it. Always because of mindfulness, when our mind is with unwholesome thoughts, we know it. When our mind is with wholesome thoughts, we know it too. Then always we try to reduce the unwholesome thoughts and we try to develop and cultivate the wholesome thoughts. It includes to fourth one, contemplation of mental objects. Then actually this is the very big topic in Buddhism. This is the very large discourse in Buddhism. We talk a little, a few. We have to describe a lot of information about this topic. In future, little by little, we will discuss it. I think this is enough for today. Okay, thank you for your coming, your participation, your participation encouraged me to deliver this message, not only for you but also other divine persons too. And also now let's we transfer our all merits that we accumulated in this moment, your beloved relatives who were departed, and may they receive these merits and may they attain good life, good realms, and finally may they attain final bliss of liberation. With that intention, let's we transfer these all merits to our beloved departed relatives. Idamme ñātīnaṁ hotu sukhitā hontu ñātayo. Idamme ñātīnaṁ hotu sukhitā hontu ñātayo. Idamme ñātīnaṁ hotu sukhitā hontu ñātayo. Let's we transfer these soul merits to divine persons, guardian deities and angels too. May they receive these merits and may they keep their eye on you too. May they protect you. May they also attain final bliss of liberation. With that intention, let's we transfer these soul merits to divine guardian deities too. Ettavata ca amhehi sambhataṁ puñña sampadam sabbe deva anumodanto sabba sampatti siddhya. Ettavata ca amhehi sambhataṁ puñña sampadam sabbe deva anumodanto sabba sampatti siddhya. Ettavata ca amhehi sambhataṁ puñña sampadam sabbe deva anumodanto sabba sampatti siddhya. Today we participate for the weekly program, Dhamma discussion and meditation. You participated for this Dhamma class very faithfully and you discussed, you learned a lot of things. And you can be happy, and with the soul merits, I wish you all the best. May you be well, happy and peaceful with your children, with your relatives. Okay, say sadhu, sadhu. May the triple gem bless you.
May the triple gem bless
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
I'm happy that I
වන්නිවන පෙතේ ගම්දනව් පුරානිව වංකගිරිවනේ විසතුරු සදිසි වෙරුම් තබාවිති